and they tightened it up, right before half. But I think certainly our guys, we'll have our first chance to show them film today from that game because we had to take the last two off. But there's certainly things that we can learn from, throughout that game, just like any game, but specifically in this one, where we can get a little bit better. And I did think our guys did a really nice job in a tough environment, in a big game. I mean, they wanted to win in that game. Chance for them to go undefeated at home, even though it didn't have any ramifications for them from a standings perspective. Winning that last game at home obviously was important to them. And I thought our guys stood up and played.
Do you have any fundamental changes in your philosophy when it comes to tournament basketball? Anything that you picked up over the years that works better than it might during the regular season?
No, I mean, I think it's like you have to go for it. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. It's getting your team and your guys ready to go for it with the discipline and the understanding of how that particular team wins, and what gives them the best chance to win. And a lot of it comes down to the matchups, when you get out there and who's playing well at that particular time. And sometimes you can get it going within the tournament. All of a sudden the momentum shifts for you and it changes because everyone has new life. Especially that first game that you get out there and tip it up in the tournament. Everybody is jazzed to play and excited about the potential possibility of advancing.
What will Tuesday look like for you with that game in the morning of your two potential opponents?
Do you mean like for us or for those two teams?
For you guys.
Yeah, for us, I mean, we're going to practice here, and then we're going to get on the plane. We're going to head up there and get ready. When we get there, get situated in the hotel. It'll be a quick turnaround. Not something that we haven't done before. We've had plenty of these trips where it's you go the night before and you're playing early the next day. So they know the routine. The guys know the routine, and we'll be ready to go.
Have you gone back and looked over the games in the regular season against both of those teams and pick up anything that you didn't see the first time?
And you kind of have to be careful because you don't want to do too much one way or another, right? It's like we can't predict, what's going to happen, but we have to have, key things from both teams, right? In both games that we played that our guys could potentially see, and maybe there's some similarities there too. That you can kind of pick from, but the biggest thing is making sure that our guys, are ready, certainly mentally, and then from an execution standpoint, you try to work on yourselves for a couple of days, to get ready.
Apologies if Lane already asked this, but you were at full strength, at least with all your guys available on Friday. Do you expect to have all of them available for Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, as long as nothing happens between now and then, yeah, I mean, we certainly do. I thought the guys, did really well. Fats, even Fats playing, and Max playing in that game the other night. I thought those two guys and Jay Wall did a great job, of getting them ready to play, in that game, and obviously it was a big game both ways, and I think since we've gotten back, the guys they're feeling good.
To that point, how much of an advantage is depth in this time of year when you've got potentially 4 games in 5 days?
Yeah, I mean, I think depth is certainly key. Any tournament format, when you're playing day after day after day. But each game is is its own championship game, right? You have to, give it your best effort. You can't save anything, in each game. You've got to make sure that you're, trying to win, so you can continue to advance.
Again, apologies if Lane already asked this, but the amount of 3-point shots on Friday, did you guys come into the game wanting to let it fly a little bit, or was it something that Dayton did schematically?
I mean, I think we were able to get them spread out a little bit, and certainly we played some different lineups. Kwani was out there at the 5, more so than he's really been, this year, which changes things. The way they matched us, I think probably had a little bit to do with that, in terms of who they had on who. That certainly, opened up some things for us, but You know, it's you know, you never go into a game saying, "Hey, we're going to make 18," you know, or whatever. But you know, the opportunity presented itself. You know, for our guys, obviously it was an overtime game, so there's five extra minutes there. But you know, I thought our guys gave ourselves, you know, gave our team, you know, a good opportunity to win in a really tough environment. And I thought Dayton, you know, had to make some really big plays, you know, in order to squeak out the win there. You know, at the end, their players, you know, they did a great job, you know, finding a way. And we certainly made some mistakes, you know, in the game. You know, certainly things that we can do better. Transition defense being one, you know, was not as tight as it needed to be. A couple of key, you know, first half turnovers, we were pretty good. You know, only had 4, and then second half, you know, we leaked a couple there. You know, that you know, probably you know, hurt us more so than we needed them to, right? You're going to have some in games. You know, you look at it and you say 11, right? But you know, when do they happen? You know, and that's certainly something that, you know, we all regret. You know, having had those at those key times, and it's going to happen. You know, at times, but you've got to make up for it.
Zeb sat in here after the Duquesne game, and I think was very critical of his team's mindset and approach that night on Friday. It looked like he was on a mission. Were you proud of his leadership, career high for him in that game?
Yeah, he was ready to go. You know, he certainly was, and his teammates were too. And you know, it was fun to see them, you know, really in attack mode and attacking the moment. You know, the home game is really a hard one to judge. You know, because it was the first game all year that we've played without Max, and that's a tall order. You know, we played 5 games in 13 days. You know, to end the season. You know, before that we had 3 games in 16 days, going into that break, and so you know it's you know, it's the way the schedule fell, and it's unfortunate that he was hurt in that game. But you know, certainly that was, you know, aside from Duquesne playing extremely well, it was certainly not taking anything away from what they did, but all of a sudden not having him in that moment, you know, was hurtful to us. And kind of put everybody in different roles, and certainly there are no excuses there, but it wasn't our true team, I guess I would say at that point.
Is playing in an NBA arena still a big deal for kids, or are they hardened now because they do it so much more than they used to? And if so, I mean, do you address that at all?
Not really. I mean, I think it's just, you know, we have to focus on, you know, the details of the game and the game plan and try to be disciplined to that. But certainly there are differences. You know, you know how you enter the arena and all the cool things that go along with being in an NBA arena. We're very fortunate that our conference is able to play in Barclays. But you know, I think our guys, any player, you know, would get excited about playing in that type of environment, and so we're I'm excited for our guys to see what we can do.
Anything you can draw on from the experience in Orlando for this upcoming week?
Yeah, I mean, just the quick preps. Yeah, I mean, I think our guys have a, you know, clear understanding of what they have to do. You know, quick turns and all that. But you know, the first one's the first one. You know, it's the most important, and we won't know who we're playing until we arrive up there, and then we'll have another kind of walkthrough practice that evening. To kind of really hammer home the game plan and get ready in short order, and we'll go for it.
You catch any Hampton-Sydney this past weekend?
I didn't. My son actually went to the game.
Nice.
I couldn't go, but my son did actually go to the game, so he pulled them through. So I guess they're Final Four now. Yeah.
Did you get to talk to Griff last night?
I did. Yeah, I talked to him right after they won. Not right after, but after they won, a little bit later that day, and obviously really proud of him and his team. You know, they had a rough go, you know, mid-year in conference play, and really has had a remarkable, you know, turnaround, you know, to their season, and just really happy for them, happy for, you know, their players. You know, one of them obviously played for us at Utah State, and he had a great, you know, tournament for them, and, you know, just, you know, excited for them reach their goal of making the dance, and it's not easy to do. It's you have to take it one game at a time, and they certainly were able to outlast that first game, got down in the second game, and came back and won that one, and then obviously the last one, just did a masterful job in the final, and so we're excited to see them dancing again.
Not bad for an oil lawyer.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he's definitely done a great job there of getting that program going. 2 out of 3 years, that's really impressive. It's not easy to do, especially in the one bid leagues like that. It's just it's really hard. They put together a great staff. Put together a great collection of players that are hungry, and it's fun to see them win.
But he's from the Ryan Odom coaching tree. You realize that, right?
Yeah, well, I guess. I guess he is. But he helped me a ton, when we were together, and that was certainly a time in our lives that we, will always cherish, because, we were teammates together. And so we spent all those hours, in the gym playing and laughing and doing what teammates do. And then to, years later, kind of be back in that locker room together in different roles, was really cool. So I had a chance to talk to Coach Shaver yesterday as well. So he was actually there. He had a chance to go to the games and got a chance to see it. And so it was really, really cool. All of his Hampton City buddies are excited for him.
Good.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Ryan.
Coach.